stay on this video if you hate training in the heat. I'm going to tell you why you need to do it, what it does to your body, and if you want a better VO2 max without increasing your pacing and volume, what it does internally so you can get that VO2, become more efficient, and allow your body to become a better runner in a shorter period of time. I've done 6 ultras anywhere from Arizona all the way to Florida. I've trained in the heat. I love the heat. So I'm going to tell you my top tips and why you should not avoid it. So first things first, I know we like to complain about the heat, but the heat doesn't give a fuck about you. The heat is going to be there regardless. You show up on race day, it's going to be hot. You show up on race day, it's going to rain. These are variables that we cannot control. We can only control our mind and how we deal with them in training sessions. You want to train to race and you race to win. You put yourself in every situation needed for you to become a better athlete. So with that said, let's get into why we do heat training. During the summer, it's uncomfortable. It's hard to avoid if you're in the East. If you're in the South, forget about it. My hat goes off to you. Those guys are absolute animals. The way that this works is when your body is under stress, everything is up. Your core temperature, your heart rate, everything. But what this does is it increases your plasma, which means more oxygen delivered to your body, thus having a better VO2 max, okay? Then what happens is you have a better stroke volume. Your heart is beating harder at that certain pace, which means your body pumps out more blood per beat just to keep itself cooler and catch up with itself. With that being said, you're going to train for the same amount of time with a higher heart rate, and things are going to be a lot harder than they will. So if an 830 pace is very difficult and your heart rate spiked to 20 beats per minute and you keep on doing that, you're going to go to an 830 pace and it's going to feel like butter. But the turnover time, your heart rate, everything like that is going to be more efficient because you're dealing with a variable that increases your core temperature to an uncomfortable position to where it has no choice but to adapt and work harder while you're keeping the same pace and you're not actually working harder. That is the biggest reason we train in the heat. Another big reason, if you kind of think about it, it's like altitude training, right? Altitude training is great. Those guys are animals out there. You know, they have a massive engine and VO2. Heat training kind of mimics the same thing, right? You get the cellular adaptation, the blood adaptation, the internal stress adaptation. Altitude training is going to increase red blood cells. Heat is going to increase the plasma, right? They kind of go hand in hand. So yes, you are getting a better VO2 max, and the guys that train in altitude have a way better VO2 than the guys that don't. Same thing with the guys that are training in the heat constantly compared to somebody that's sitting on a treadmill. It doesn't go hand in hand, right? So if you want to be a better runner, compete more, get that free adaptation, even though it's going to be difficult, do not avoid the heat. But I'm going to tell you what to do if you want to keep yourself cool. We have the pre-cool, post-cool, and after. So pre, if you're really having trouble mentally, you want to take like an ice bath, you want to do like an ice bandana around your neck, cool yourself off, get the core body temperature down, then go for a run. During the run, there's not much that we can do, right? Yes, the heat's going to be there, your heart rate's going to be up, but you can cool yourself off just by wearing an ice bandana and pouring water on your head. Does it do much? A little bit. It's like a cooling system, but not for long. It just takes the mental edge off. But remember, the only thing that can kill iron is its own rust. So go through the fire, period. After, if you're still hot and sweating after 15, 20 minutes, your body could be overheating a little bit. That's when we want to take advantage of like an ice bath. But if not, just go get ice cream. I talked about this in my other video. Go do the positive reinforcement because yes, it's going to suck in the moment. Your internal monologue is going to give the pros and cons of why I shouldn't train in the heat, even though you should because scientifically it makes you better. But that internal monologue is going to look at the negatives and be like, fuck. If you go train in the heat, give yourself some positive reinforcement, ice cream, Diet Coke, whatever's going to make you happy. So every time that you know that things get difficult when it comes to heat training, you have a reward sitting for you at the end of that session. Keep doing that and you will get better. So that's why we train in the heat. That's what it does internally to your VO2 max. And pre-cooling, during, after, whatever it is, those are my tips, right? There's a lot more that we can do, but from my experience, I can't speak on it. I've only done the ice bath and the ice bandana and of course the water on the head like every other runner does. But any questions, comments, let me know. I'd love to know if you're training in the heat. I know a lot of guys in Texas that follow me are. My hat goes off to you. I may not be able to compete with you, but at the same time, if you really want to fucking do it, do not avoid hard things like the heat, the cold, the altitude training. That is how you become a better runner.